Well, hello and welcome to the first edition of Ghost Not Ghost Stories with Andrea Doria. And what you're looking at right now is actually a photo I stumbled upon when I was goofing around on the old U of Tube. Let's look for ghosts, see what I might find. I thought I might throw something up to play while I was telling the story, and this thing showed up. And I think that's kind of funny because this photo, that photo, the photo in the middle, this black and white right here, the staircase. Um, and yeah, pardon me, it's a ghost story coming up. So shaky camera work, right? I'm running. Oh no. Uh, anyhow, that that is so cool that showed up because that was in a book that I checked out from the Menlo Park Library about ghosts caught on camera, and I think I was about 7 years old at the time, and I thought the stuff was real. And some of it I knew wasn't real, actually, when I looked at it. Some of the stuff that was supposed to be ectoplasm and stuff was so obviously didn't look real to me at all. But that ghost photo at the time looked really real to me. I thought, oh, wow. And I know it's a fake. I know it's a fraud. And that's why this story is also cool, because this is not really a ghost story, and it's not a fake. Although I did tell my friend it was fake because it freaked her out so much. So it's kind of like a mysterious, spooky story without being, I saw a ghost, because I know I didn't see a ghost. So we're reeling back this to when I went to San Jose State, and I was one of the people who commuted. And I met this gal who also commuted, and we both lived really near each other, about 30 miles north of San Jose State, in an area where Stanford University is, Atherton, Menlo Park, Ladera, where I lived, Portola Valley, and stuff like that there. And we used to hang out at each other's homes, do homework. I really stayed at her place a lot more than she came over to mine because her place was cool. It was nice to hang out with her aunt and uncle, and if her brother or sisters were there or anything, it was nice. Whereas my environment was a little bit more strict, and we wouldn't be as comfortable just hanging out in my room like we would have been at hers. So in turn, I'd end up spending a lot of evenings there and driving home late at night. This story originates from late at night. It was winter. I remember that much. It might have been a Thursday. I think it may have been a Thursday, actually. But that doesn't really matter. I think it was a weeknight. Winter, really cold. Drove an old Dodge Dart convertible that was a really great car, but when it was cold, boy howdy. Took a while for the car to warm up. In turn, no heat. And I want to get home, and I got to hurry up and go home because I'm cold and my fingers are freezing, so let's go. That was the case as many nights. Me leaving her house. I'm going, and limited lighting, limited street lighting between her home and my route that went Alameda de las Pulgas, crossing over Sandhill Road, which then the Alameda became Alpine Road, which is really where this story begins. Because I'm driving home, and it's cold, and the car's finally warming up a little bit. It only takes about 15, 20 minutes at the very most, and that would be driving like a snail or something, to get from her place back to my home. It's more like 15. So I'm driving, the car's finally warming up, the windows are not quite so foggy, and I see this guy as I'm driving on Alpine Road walking on the side of the road to my left as I'm approaching, and I see this guy ahead. And he looks really kind of weird. I mean, he looks kind of old, and to lack of a better word, he kind of looks dead, okay? The guy kind of looked dead. He wasn't dead. He was quite obviously a living individual, ghost. Just gonna give you images of what shows up when you search ghost on YouTube. It's so exciting, isn't it? Not really. All right, so I like the other picture better. So this guy is walking on the side of the road, and he's hitting a part I can see because I know this road very well, even in the dark. He's coming up to a point where he's either going to have to go down off the road into where this property is at Stanford Land, or he's going to have to jump and get on the shoulder of the road and be walking actually on the road. Because it wasn't actually a sidewalk, it was like a footpath people had carved by walking on it. So this guy's walking on this thing, and I kind of ease my foot off the gas because I'm kind of, this guy looks kind of weird, and I hope he's okay. So let's just kind of, put the eyes to the side and see, what am I seeing here? And what I'm seeing is just a guy kind of walking along, and then he just kind of disappears. I missed something. He disappeared as I had passed by. I'm looking in my rearview mirror, okay? Late at night, little important detail there. He didn't just disappear out of the blue. I'm driving. I go by him relatively slowly. I think the speed limit was 35. I was probably slowed to probably about 25 at that point. So I'm looking in the rear view as I'm driving, and I see him, and then he just disappears. So I go, all right, he probably, I guess, went down, and hopefully he didn't fall down. Maybe he actually has some weird kind of little camp out there or something, even if it is Stanford Land, who knows. But me being me, I decided I'm going to circle back just in case. I'm not going to get out of the car. I'm a gal alone, but what if something happened to this guy? What if something's not okay? Again, the guy just kind of looked dead. He didn't look menacing necessarily. He didn't look like he was an axe murderer. He just looked weird. So, drive by where he'd been. There's nobody there. Okay, that's kind of weird. Okay, maybe I should call about this when I get home. So I hit this one driveway area that I knew was from having gone to school a long time ago and taking the bus. It was a place I could turn back around. So I turned back around, double back. I'm heading back home, going, all right, gonna go home, and maybe I'll just go ahead and call the police and say, hey, I think maybe I saw somebody fall, or I don't really know what I saw, but someone's nearby, just check. So I'm driving, and the guy is right where he was originally walking, but he's just standing there, and he's staring at my car. And holy shit, that freaked me out. I thought the guy had fallen or something. I thought he had gone somewhere, and here he's just standing there. Like, shit. So we're driving a little bit faster now, and heart is pumping really fast, and I'm home. And I get in, and it's like, yeah, hey, Mom, and everything. And I call my friend, give her the one ring and everything. And then I'm just sitting in my bedroom going, oh, yeah. Breathe. And at the time I smoked, and I'm not supposed to smoke at home, but I remember lighting a cigarette, just going, wow. So I tell my friend the story the next day, and it scared her so much that I had to tell her I made it up. It was all just a joke. Ha 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 ha. No, just a joke. Didn't really see anybody. And actually, it was funny. I saw this friend of mine, and I was having dinner with her and her sons just a few years ago, and that stupid story came up. And she said, I remember that. That was so scary. And I said, yeah, it was just fake. It was all fake. And she said, I know, but it was. Didn't have the heart to tell her even now that it was not fake. I was like, oh, shit. And she remembered it, too. Hopefully she'll never watch this. I know she won't watch this because she does not like the paranormal, whereas I do. So the point of this story is I don't know who the guy was. I don't think I ever will know who it was. I looked in papers occasionally to see if there was anything about some weird guy, and no, never heard anybody talking about anybody like that. Drove that route tons at night, tons over the years. Never saw anybody like that again. So who that was, what was going on, I don't know. Hope the guy was okay. He did not look okay, but being a gal alone scared the flippin' daylights out of me, man. And again, dark road, midnight, got the creep factor already. So there you go. That's your first ghost story with Andrea Doria. I wish I could put the America is Waiting on for Music for You, but that would be a copyright strike, and I don't want to start off with one of those at the beginning of something that is just merely a ghost story showing you a picture that Oh, where is my finger in the lens? That picture right there. That one. That picture. That was one of the first photos I ever saw of a supposed ghost in a book. And I'm going to tell you in the future who those books were by, because there was a guy who did a number of them. And it wasn't just ghosts, it was psychic phenomenon as well, and ESP and stuff. So I'll give you info about that when I do another installation of ghosts, but not ghost stories, or just weird stories, or whatever, with me, Andrea Doria. Just giving you a little bit of fun. Bedtime story. And I'll do graphics and junk, for some of the others that I've thought of, because even if they're really rudimentary graphics, a little better than just looking at a still of a ghost. But I'm not stealing somebody else's content for a story that is mine. And nobody can have it, because it happened to me. And if it happened to anybody else out there, if you're watching this, you lived in Ladera off Alpine Road, or you lived in Portola Valley, Menlo Park, anywhere around Alpine Road. This would have been around 1981, 82, 83, 84. I think it was around maybe 82 or 83. But I really don't know. Somewhere between 1981 and 84. That would be about right. Somewhere. So if anybody here watching this lived around that area, Alpine Road, Highway 280, Stanford University being nearby, and ever saw somebody weird on any part of that road or anywhere around for that matter, who's thin, probably about 6 foot tall, looked probably older than they were, but looked to be like maybe 55, 60 years old, and very skeletally, gray, dead-looking, spooky kind of guy. No facial hair, just short hair. I don't even think balding, just kind of, shaggy-ish, rough clothes. Again, I think it was just like jeans and a regular old shirt, not even a jacket, which also is weird. It was like a dark shirt. Definitely not a coat. So, there are the details I remember just going back in my mind. If anybody happened to be around that area, or if anybody's ever experienced something like that before, where you see somebody and you've driven that route a ton of times, you know people around there, you never hear about anything like this at all, never see anyone like that again, and you're like, what the hell was that about? That was really weird. Maybe somebody came off Highway 280 and was turned around or something. They were drunk. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And if I had been with a guy, I think we probably would have pulled over and maybe I'd have an answer. But it wasn't a ghost. It was something weird. There's your weird. Sleep tight then. Or if you're watching during the day, hey, hope you enjoyed that. Subscribe to this channel if you want to, man, because there's going to be more. But no regularity, no nothing. This is just for fun. And I'm going to share stories from my past. And then might start collecting a few from around the interwebs too, because you just never know what you might find. And you never know if someone might have had a similar experience, even now, even during quarantine. Alrighty, signing off. Ooh, don't be too scared now. It's never too scary. Unless things suddenly go dark. Good night.